Master Bravo here again to review episode 3 of Alchemy of Souls. If you learn nothing else from this review other than how to breathe, your life will be 1,000 times better. We will begin with breathing, and then I will reinforce the technique in the middle and at the end of the video. So let's begin breathing. You will breathe out for 8 seconds. You will hear me breathing out, and as you are breathing out for 8 seconds, you will suck your stomach in. Begin. Very good. Now you will inhale for 8 seconds, pushing your stomach out. You will imagine that your stomach is a balloon, and as you are inhaling the air, your stomach is filling up with precious air. And then you will keep on repeating the exhale for 8 seconds, inhale for 8 seconds, and you will do this for at least 5 minutes in the beginning, and you will work your way up to 10 minutes and 20 minutes and 30 minutes. This is part of your training. So in our last episode, number 2, we learned that the power of Boyon, the blind girl, is buried deep inside of Mudogi. And it is this power that helped keep her alive during the beating and the torture. Meaning any lesser human would have died during this beating, but that is the power of Boyon, which is hidden deep down inside of Mudoki. And even Mudoki, aka Naksu, she does not even know that this Boyon soul exists way down there. She has not even figured that out yet. This is only episode 3. Episode 3 is all about Naksu, who lives in the body of Mudoki, becoming the master teacher for Jun-uk. And of course, breathing. That's the most important part when you first begin to train your student. One of the first things you teach them is how to breathe, because how are they going? They cannot do the moves properly if you cannot breathe, right? If you're panting and you can't breathe, you cannot do the move properly. So it's just common sense. You start to learn the moves, the techniques. Your muscles grow, and as your muscles grow, your breathing gets better and stronger, and you don't have to pant and out of breath, and you can do the moves properly. It's all common sense. Unless you've never been taught, which in that case, all you have to do is make a mental note in your mind, I will learn. I will seek out and learn. Okay, so we need to mention this. The Mudoki, aka Naksu, and Jun-uk, they have something in common, which I think made them destined to meet each other. Mudogi's body contains 2 souls. The soul of Naksu, which she is aware of, and the soul of Boyon, which she's not aware of. Now, for Jun-uk, his body also contains 2 souls, or at least 2 powerful energies, because remember, he carries the DNA from his father, Jangang, okay? Jangang, the body, had sex with his wife, and they produced Jun-uk. But remember, the king, the dead king, went into Jangang's body. So Jun-uk also carries the soul or the energy of the dead king. These are 2 powerful energies that reside in both Mudogi and Jun-uk. This is what makes them special, which makes them the star of the show, and this is what gives them more energy than everybody else has. So, as is the case in many master-student relationships, only the students get the privilege or the experience to see the powers that the master has. See, because Jun-uk learned the power of Naksu as she was able to survive the beatings and the torture with her inner power. And then, to put the icing on the cake, Naksu showed her Machiavellian powers over her opponents by poisoning Jun-uk and forcing the leaders to unlock his gate of power And this showed that Naksu, the assassin, has superior game theory. We're talking game theory here, and Naksu has it. I mean, look, Junuk went through 12 masters, trying to get all 12 of them to unlock his gate of energy. None of them would do it. It never occurred to Junuk that this strategy, commit suicide, maybe they'll unlock it, never came to him. So now he understands that Naksu is his master. She will go to extremes to win, and now it is time for him to bow down to his new master and show respect and allegiance. But there's one condition. There's always a condition, isn't there? And Naksu tells him, the condition is that when you are trained, after I have trained you to be the best, and I have gotten my powers back, then we part ways. Well, this kind of irks Junuk. He's hurt. He's a sensitive guy. He's hurt. I mean, what, after all we've been through, and you're just going to drop me like that? So this is what he says to her in response. Once I am no longer of use to you, you may abandon me. And I will respect your decision, and I will let you leave. He understands that she is a cold-hearted assassin deep down inside. Now, he thinks she can change, and maybe she can change, but he's not going to let it bother him too much that she's a cold-hearted assassin, because she is what she is. All right, let's try our breathing technique again. Now, I don't really think it matters whether you start by breathing out or breathing in. Me personally, I like to breathe out first because it, enables me to breathe in better. So go ahead and exhale for 8 seconds. And while you're exhaling, make sure that you bring your stomach in. Force your stomach in while you're breathing out for 8 seconds. Go ahead. Good. Now we breathe in. We breathe in for 8 seconds. As we are breathing in, we fill our stomach up with air, and we push our stomach out for 8 seconds. And we do this. Repeat. Rinse and repeat. Now, for the first couple reviews here, I don't think I've really mentioned that there's a lot of comedy in this show also. I think I've kind of focused on the serious martial arts aspect of it, if there is any serious in of it. But there's a lot of comedy in here, which makes it a really enjoyable show. For example, they start their training now. The master, Naksu, is going to start training her student, and they're out there by the water. But before she starts to train her student, she, tells him the stories about, how capable she was as Naksu. Not only was she able to gather the energy of water, but she had the ability to get power from the flow of water, and then ultimately from the atmosphere itself. Water is all around us, and she was telling her student how capable she was, that she was Naksu, the shadow assassin, and she had to remind him of all this. But this is where the comedy comes in. After she tells him how great she was, and how if I were to do this, it would rain or snow. And then she drops to the ground, and she can't even breathe because she forgets that she's no longer in the body of Naksu. She's in the body of Mudogi. So anyhow, she was treated at the medicine house by this man here, and this is kind of a funny part where he says, "Oh, you must be the spiteful maid." She was told to sweep up in front of the hospital because she was treated there for free. But you gotta love the old man. He says, yeah, you must be the spiteful maid. Remember, she's Naksu, and she doesn't back down from anybody. So this is a pretty funny exchange here. They say, "What are you doing?" And she says, "Well, I was told to sweep up because I got treated for free." Notice she says, "I was told," because she's still, in her mind, she's Naksu. There's no reason for Naksu to be sweeping up. But he says, yes, Kim is wise, so sweep the yard and clean up. And Naksu says, "Just you wait." So she throws the leaves at him, and he says, "You're doing that on purpose." And she always glares on people. No, that was on purpose. No, it was. And then she's always glaring at people, and she's kind of funny. But the elder medicine man, he's not going to let it go. So he says, "Oh, this ear. I recognize this ear." And he probably does recognize that ear from being Bullion's ear. But then he grabs her and he gives her a little bit of pain and says, "Take that." It's funny. But during this exchange, she also finds out that the old man put an extra 10 years of energy into her young master, Jun-uk's body. So she's excited. So she rushes back to tell Jun-uk that, "Hey, you've got 10 years of energy in there, you lucky punk." So why don't we speed this up a little bit? So they find out he didn't even know he had this energy in there, and so she finds out. She's able to feel it. And every martial artist knows that your power comes from your stomach and your ki in there, and your breathing is part of that. So this is all important in the story. But they're worried that he can take it back. The old master can take it back if he doesn't learn how to breathe like his old master. So this is like this whole show is about breathing. In her attempt to learn how Yule breathes, Yule then becomes suspicious of her, and now he thinks she is Naksu. And of course, at the end of episode 3, we see that Master Jin-mu is instigating trouble between his student, the Crown Prince, and Jun-uk. So their stars must pass each other, and one must win, and the other must lose. That's the side effects of when the more power you get, the more enemies you get. So we can expect that the Crown Prince and Jun-uk to butt heads soon, possibly in episode number 4. So until episode 4, we will wait until the Crown Prince crushes Jun-uk.